Video games have taken the world by a storm. More and more people are taking interest in playing video games today than ever before, albeit for different reasons, whether it is for education, sports, training, filmmaking, or just entertainment. Nearly 2.5 billion people play video games, which is almost 32% of the entire world population. And video game as an industry generates more revenue than film and music industry combined. Now that we have established the fact that video games are a big deal, let's try to understand why. Why did this industry blossom the way it did? And how is it helping the world not just to entertain themselves, but also do things they never imagined possible? Quick history lesson. Back in 1970s, the first video game that people could play was Pong. Most of you might remember that. Just a few huge pixels on the screens are moving, two of which are being controlled by actual people. I know, this sounds weird by today's standards, but back then it was revolutionary. Atari was one of those companies back then who was best known for their home consoles, the Atari 2600. But not everything was great, because in 1983, the infamous video game crash took place, which almost killed the industry, and partly due to Atari and the single game that caused it, E.T., a video game adaptation of Steven Spielberg's movie of the same name. The overall market share of video game dropped to a whopping 97%. A deeper understanding suggested the reason behind this were market saturation, more companies making copies or clones of other games, losing customer trust, and overall bad quality of games, releasing them out to the public without so much as testing the code. These things left a bad taste for the consumer, and people outright abandoned the medium altogether. We all know the crash did not last long, and considering the video game industry generated a revenue of $158 billion in just last year, yes, that's billion with a B, I'd say the industry is far from crashing. How did this happen? Well, the credit goes to one Italian plumber. I'm not kidding. He was a little guy you may know as Mario. Nintendo, which started out as a playing cards company, is now one of the biggest producers in the industry. In 1986, when the company launched Nintendo Entertainment System, it blew everything that came before it out of the water. Games were fun again and inspired many events and championships where thousands would gather to compete for high scores and take home cash prizes. This time around, it was serious business. People are not fooled by cheap knockoffs. All the companies didn't stop doing it. The consumers were smart enough this time around and honestly had many unique options. From this point on, the industry started blossoming and has reached to what it is now. Today, the industry is led by three major companies and their flagship consoles. There is of course Nintendo with Switch, then we have Microsoft's Xbox, and Sony's PlayStation. Quick fun fact, Sony's PlayStation was a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System as a partnership deal. But both companies had a falling out on the sale, and Sony decided to pull all their research and development to fair use and decided to launch the PlayStation as a standalone console. And the rest is history. As of 2019, Sony's PlayStation 4 stands tall with 56% of market share between all the three consoles. That is just hilarious. Had Nintendo not fallen off with Sony, we might not have the PS4, and Nintendo would still be the king. Just something to ponder on. Now that we have established the industry and briefly discussed how it came to be, let's talk about its influence in today's world. You see, video games are no longer the kids' thing, far from it. Not only are the games more mature, but some of them tell beautiful stories, create a beautiful world you can get lost in, and a fantastic sense of wonder. You might be thinking books, movies, or music can make you feel the same as well, but that's where gaming has the upper hand. Along with doing all this, video games offer an additional layer that sets itself apart from any other medium. That is interactivity. The fact that you are the ones making everything happen in front of you is just a whole different level. Did you watch the latest Spider-Man movie in the theater? Remember how the entire cinema hall erupted when he pulls off this sick move? While on the PlayStation, you can be the ones doing that. Just the fact that this is possible today should be enough to blow anyone's mind. But there is more. Remember how you felt the thrills when Tom Cruise is hanging by the plane? In Uncharted 3, you jump off one and end up surviving in the most spectacular sequence put to the screen. Or remember being scared while watching a zombie movie? You best not be playing Resident Evil 7 alone if you want to make it through the night. It's experiences like these that are unmatched when you compare to any medium of entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, many also enjoy watching others play. This leads to people using their skills to not only compete with each other, but also take part in international tournaments with a prize pool of almost $25 million. Yes, you heard that right, 25 million. That's like 184 crores in Indian rupees. Kids who are 15-21 years old have single-handedly won around 10 million for themselves. Today it's called esports. Esports gamers or pro gamers are officially regarded as professional athletes. From what I've said above, it's obvious you have to care about esports. But you can't deny the excitement and enthusiasm of the viewers, like this moment from EVO 2004. It's the final round. Diego, who plays Ken, has no HP left, and Justin, who plays Chun-Li, has been dominating the game. With practically no health left, so much so that even blocking an attack would kill him, parrying was the only option left. The match ball was in Justin's court, and with that he unleashed Chun-Li's ultimate combo. But then Diego did something unthinkable. He not only parried all the 16 hits from Chun-Li's combo but finished it off with Ken's combo. The crowd went wild. Because of moments like these, so many care about esports. It's competition at its absolute best. There's a lot more to cover on this topic, so I'll be putting out a part 2 of this video. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you are the first one to find out when that goes live. Also make sure to like this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.